Alright, let's get started. We have two to-dos. We want to make it so that it's easier to get an end state, and we want to refactor the code so it's more reusable. So let's get into this end state better. So the game state. Let's say const kings equals board.tiles dot flat dot filter piece dot type equals king if kings dot length equals 2 equals 1, and then if kings dot length equals 0, I will say this is a draw. I'll say stalemate since stalemate is a draw. If it's 1, we'll return king sub 0 dot color equals light. If the light one is remaining, then light wins, otherwise dark wins. And that'll be that logic. When kings go missing, the game ends. Alright, so what I'm thinking, we'll do a new folder. We'll call it chess. And we're gonna create a new file called chessview.ts. And we're gonna take all this vanilla, pretty much all of this, put it in here, and we're going to create a class, chess view. And we're going to start putting these functions into this class. Some of this is gonna stay outside of it. I think this will be the only thing that really stays out. And here we go. Let's just go function by function. So we'll do the constructor, which will take private canvas HTML canvas element, and it's going to do some stuff with that. It's going to do some of this initialization here. And it's going to do this board initialization. And that'll be the controller, actually. That'll be part of the controller. So I think this would take the model, which is the board state, we'll do it a little bit differently. This is just to get it started. So let's take each of these functions and pull them into the class. We'll also create another variable. Private context is a canvas rendering context, and then we'll say this dot context. I'll also say const context equals. Okay. For each of these, we'll just say const context this dot context, just to make it a little bit easier. And it wants me to use it as a this reference. I don't know that I will though, to be honest. All that I care about is maybe probably the context, but we'll see. Let's do $% D G capital G W X W context equals this dot context. Make this private. W go. This will be private. W X W save. We'll need the board for this. State, and then const context equals this dot context. All right. This needs to be private. Board. diw x equals diw o const context equals this dot context. $D capital G diw I private f equals x semicolon xx save it o const context this dot context and board is board state and this dot ellipse. Promotion really has nothing to do with drawing, so we'll bring that over to the vanilla, or sorry, for the chess, and we'll export it. Just a moment. Just give me a moment. Delilah, come here. $D capital G B CIW private F equals X semicolon DIW O const context equals this dot context I board is board state. Promotions, board. Okay. Just trying to keep as much of this file be draw as possible. CIW private F equals X semicolon DIW I board is board state const context equals this dot context $D capital G P CIW private semicolon, semicolon, O. Alright, I think I'll bite the bullet. Let's write a script for this. So the script will be capital, oh, I didn't do it. Q1, capital I, this dot, escape, down, Q. And then we're gonna do it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8 at 1. And then this next one, they all need a board. So for this, we're gonna do Q1 caret F open parenthesis A board escape down Q. And we're gonna do that 6 times, so 6 at 1. And then we're gonna make this take the board, which is a board state. And this one probably is not. Okay, so we have 2 things here. One of them is like not drawing code. I think ideally the vanilla code would import chess view to export chess view. And new chess view canvas. Let's do const context oh, that was the one we needed. All right, and then we'll do an f context dot. And we're gonna replace them all with this dot context dot context. Oh my goodness. Try to resolve some errors here. Okay. This will go into the controller. New file, chess controller.ts. So we're gonna add Maybe something like this. Export const class chess. Let's get rid of this. Controller. BIW. Undo. BIW. Undo. BIW. Async. F equals BIW. This is just going to be called BIW. Wait. Wait for it ready. Trying to keep this to be all just simply drawing code, just the view. All right. This is no longer a function. So now we got to figure out what to do with this click code. Where do we put it? So some of this code should be moved to that state or that controller. And some of it should stay here. Okay, obviously I think new game is a good candidate to go into the controller. And where did these convenience functions go? Not sure yet. Put them in the controller for now. Should be, I would say pretty much anything that needs to interact with the board should move over. functions. Okay, so I'm wondering, the board is here. I should probably consider not working directly with the board. Maybe work with the controller, and the controller should just have a reference to the board. Maybe the view has a reference to the controller? Make this take a controller as a chess controller, and then pretty much the model is the board. So this would have a reference to the board. The board is board state. And then in the constructor, this dot board equals new this dot new game. The less references directly to the board here, the better. It should be this dot controller dot get promoted. Let's make sure we declare that. It should say private here. We can get rid of the private here because we don't need the canvas. Get promoted pawn, is that public? Oh, I didn't move it yet. Or again, trying to remove every reference to the board. Okay. We'll try to resolve each error one by one. So let's start here. Di. Is there ever a time where we don't get the board selected piece? Yes. So we should have two functions, I guess. Well, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see what we need. Let's maybe just fix the errors from the bottom to the top. We'll just go into that. We'll go in that order. then the next order, get game state. That's not controller, that game state. And then we go to chess. Take this function here, go to controller. We'll put it here. W f equals x semicolon xx. This dot get check king ciw get checked king part of the controller. Get attacks. I feel like this should be private. Check king, we need that, we need that. We never imported this. End a control. Cool. I feel like rather than pass the board into movement, we should pass the controller. Yeah. Don't pass the board. That complicates things a bit, though. Back to chess. Got a bunch more errors. Great. We're gonna do CID controller here. I'm gonna go to Horde horizontal as CT, comma, controller, chess controller. Do it again here, CT, comma, controller, chess controller. And then for long movement, I'm going to do the same thing. And I think in general, we want to get rid of the word board in this file. So let's do Control F for board. We'll do a full word case sensitive and change it to controller. Just get rid of them all. CID chess controller. That's fine. That's fine. It's all fine. So we need to be able to get pieces from the controller. So we want to say get piece by coordinates, row, column, and we'll return this dot tile, this dot board dot tiles sub row. We don't need the exclamation that probably allows us to sub row index, column index, return row sub column index, row index. We don't need all this. All right, so now we can go back to here and say get piece by coordinates, which is not a function. Piece by coordinates. That's gonna need some more work. Get piece by coordinates. That'll be a new function. get piece by coordinates. Controller dot get attacks. Well, it can't be private, I guess. WX. Get piece by coordinates. Get piece by coordinates. We'll figure that out later. Execute movement should be in the controller. What did I just do? I no longer need this first argument. I no longer need this either. Chest view is dying up in here. All right, so we need a function to get whose turn it is in the controller. Just a few helper functions here. Get turn, return this dot board dot turn. And then we'll fix some of these here. CIW, this dot control, dot get turn. Let's get the promote pawn function. F equals X semicolon dot board back to this dot And then the only thing really left in here should be piece movements. Great. Some of this might actually happen inside of the controller. The controller should probably filter out this movement. Since the controller can do a lot of this code. Okay. So next thing from the bottom, just get rid of that. So next thing from the bottom. So this will be complicated. All right. Like 90% of the view is private, which is great. Get rid of that. That. Okay, cool. This will be this dot controller dot. Nice. Another resolved. Draw pieces. All right. So we probably need just controller to say get pieces, which will return board this dot board dot tiles dot flat map row dot map dot filter not null filter null. And here we'll do controller dot get pieces for each piece. We don't need that. I got rid of that. And then we'll say const column equals. Let's not do that. Let's just put it. So w piece dot column w piece dot row. All right. pretty much just want to make it so that the chest view wakes up the controller on certain actions, right? Excellent. All right, so now we need controller.getPiece by ID. Here's the ID. And it's going to return this .get pieces dot find piece dot ID equals ID. And then we go back to the view. We can say this dot controller dot get rid of the board. And then we'll add another function to the controller to get selected piece, which will return this dot get piece ID this dot board dot selected ID. All right, so this would just delete CID get selected piece. Go to this one, replace di pop parenthesis. All right, next is this click function. Okay, is there anything else that's in need of help? Start from the bottom. Okay, these two are interesting. So for the controller, we're going to say can kingside castle return stop board sub this dot board and queenside castle VIWY back VIWP VIWP. It's not gonna work, is it? Yeah, okay, nice. So now we can change these to can queenside can queenside castle I did a 55. Where is it? Let's not do whole word. Where is it? Did I delete it by accident? I don't know what the heck's going on. Controller.can queenside castle. Kingside castle. All right, up here, we need to get the en passant ID. get passant ID canvas dot board dot passant. Back to here. Controller dot get passant. Next. Back. I get passant ID. And then we're probably going to move a lot of this logic here to the controller. Okay, well, let's look around. If you need some help. Do private on click event. What is the event here? As HTML canvas element. What's the event now? Mouse event. Excellent. The on click is now here. Let's just take all of this code. And then we'll do canvas.onClick equals this.onClick.bind this. And then like a lot of this. A lot of this gets moved. I kind of don't want the controller to know anything about how the view looks. So, but I also want the controller to do a lot of this work. So we'll try to figure out how to make it do all this work. Where's the kind of separation point? See if I can just resolve a lot of these errors at least. How many can I? And now we see why we need. No, we don't. We don't see. No, we do see. Because we need to do. WX. Is there a reason I needed to do this? I did it so I can null out the selected ID on a click. So you could click anywhere and the selected gets canceled. So it's, I think here's a function. Be like this dot promote pawn. So the chess controller be promote pawn. Be this dot, and we'll take the pawn, which is a piece, and the promotion, which is a piece. All right, and then we'll call it dot controller dot promote pawn promotion sub index. Fine. Promotion equals promotion sub index DDA I promotion S DT parentheses, save it. This one is just this dot controller. This dot controller dot get pieces by coordinates. This dot controller dot get turn. Controller say if piece this dot controller dot select piece set selected piece. I'll go into the controller and say set selected piece, piece, paste it. CF closing parenthesis board dot turn this dot board, and this is CT. Okay, I think that's probably the best we could do. Excuse me 1 second. Where do I use this variable? What I would want to know. So get selected piece. Okay, great. Now we don't use this variable. We shouldn't clear it there. Controller dot clear selected piece. Let's do set selected piece is null. And then we'll make it so that this can take null. And then say this dot board dot selected ID equals empty string. All right, so what are the errors? There aren't errors. We're just not starting the game. And I would venture to say we're not starting it for some reason. Maybe if we just click. Okay. That's because we still have type errors. So we've resolved type errors here. We have no type errors here. Have no type errors here. So the main thing right now is looking at future moves, which is a little complicated right now because everything's done from the controller. So what we might want to do is for the controller, sorry, not that. What we might want to do is create a clone function, which const clone controller equals new chess controller, and then this will return the controller. And the controller dot board equals clone this dot board. And then the clone function would need to be in here. There it is. Put it here. So now we can clone, very useful. And here we can do const future equals controller dot clone. Future dot execute movement clone piece movement. We could delete this. Again. Clone deep. Call this clone deep. Let's go to console. So something we could do here, get piece by coordinates. That resolves that. We'll see. Get checked king dot color. See, at this point there could be two checked kings. If I put my own king in check. So this was correct before. This should be filtered, and it should be checked kings. And this should be kings. And then the view is wrong now. It should be I kings dot for each king df equals d capital space shift v and okay. What we're going to do, we're going to create a view function. Let's just see everything that we can do. Let's go to vanilla. Let's see what the view can do. View can do nothing, which is perfect. Incredible. what we wanted to do is have an async main, which will await this dot controller dot wait for ready, this dot draw. What do you want? We want an argument. Okay, great. So now we can say view dot main. All right, we got the board back. Oh, what do we do? This dot get checked kings. I only want to show the king who's turn. I want to pick the king whose turn it is. Black wins. Instant win. Perfect. It's not filter, that's why. It's fine. So stalemate, which one shows stalemate? If movements, if there are no movements. And why are there no movements? Piece dot movement is are there any other flat maps that I call? Should probably avoid those. Because we'll do VCF parentheses this dot. Oh, we don't need this function anymore, do we? So we could do CID this dot get pieces. This dot get pieces. This dot get pieces. pieces. dt equals x. Stop get pieces. All right, the flat map here is fine. The flat map here is also fine. This is getting the attacks. Okay, I think I know what the issue is. Movements. This does get pieces. That's fine. Okay, so we're getting a stalemate, and that's because movements is empty. And why would that be? Let's do so true. For some reason, none of the pawns on light can move. Why? Are there more type errors? There are not. Are they being filtered? Okay, so something's being filtered. So, which of the filters is it? Good piece by coordinates. Remove self-captures. Can't capture the same color. So is it maybe this one? Okay, we're getting that 40 times. Okay, so we're getting this because the king is in danger for every piece. Oh, this is probably not the issue, but it's certainly an important matter to resolve. So what we need to figure out is why And it's because an array is always true. Filter game dot color not equal to the stop. No, the controller dot get turn. It's not filter, it's find. Okay. My pawn can't move. Why not? A lot of code just for one piece. So a little confused by this. Who is the piece? Dark. Dark. Okay, don't care about those. I'm a little surprised. I would have thought that the pawn's movement would have come first. The white pawn's movement at least would have come first. Let's run it through. Let's put the breakpoint here. Click on this. Hopefully who are these for? Who's calling this function? Yeah. Get tax is done really early. Get checked kings. Get game state. Okay, so I guess what I will do, put a breakpoint here. Nice. Then put this breakpoint back. And hopefully, whose is this? Who called this? I want to draw. Okay, let's just go to this function. Put the breakpoint here. Get rid of that breakpoint. Nice. Okay, so step in. Where am I? All right. Pieces undefined. I'm not detecting the movement. Wait a moment. So for some reason, I'm not detecting movement for this piece. That's not how it should work. I should be able to select it. No, it is how it works. Because I have to go into here, which then goes into here. And this makes sure that the color is the color, and then that there's movement. And so it's here that I should have the breakpoint, and then here that I should debug. Put breakpoint. No. The breakpoint here. So I got the movement. And this is row 1, column 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so it has the capture. And go in. So we're going for this move. We execute the movement. If we look at the future, it's now Dark's turn. And oh my gosh, why did I put controller? No, it should be controller. Because it's Light's turn. Yeah, so get checked kings. All right, so I'm gonna do get checked kings. I const king equals kings. I'll break it up into 2 lines. Pretty much I can't put a king in check. That's the bug right now. Okay, cool. So the breakpoint here, break it, go here, go here, press play. So the kings that will be in check is the dark king. Now I'm going to find the king. Okay. The king whose color... Okay, it's the king whose color turn it was, so it needs to be equals, not equals. Okay. Hopefully that fixes it. Apparently that's not checkmate. Apparently the queen's movement is not being seen. Does get checked kings look at color? Does get attacks look at color? Look at whose turn it is not. Look at whose turn it is not. Who all uses get attacks? Alright, so we use get attacks. Determine if the king can move. And get attacks to determine if the king is checked. I think I need to change this. I think I need to tell it against and forget checked kings is going to be against color, chess color. CT color. Refine all the pieces that's not, so it's against that color. Color. so to get the game state, we find this board turn. Great. So how does vanilla look? How does controller look? How does this one look? Draw check. We draw check against this controller dot get turn. And then finally against and we're figuring out the attacks against whose turn it is. So controller dot get turn. That's that. And then we want to go to here. And I think get checked kings is going to go back to get checked king. Okay, go through everything again. There's no errors here. Checked king. Const king. Delete this. Delete this. If king checked king, this controller dot get turn. What's wrong with this? Do you mean get checked kings? It should be get checked king. Controller. This is controller dot get turn. All right. Hopefully that's the fix. Nice. But I did the move prematurely because I did not check to see if the piece is protected by the queen. That was the main bug. Okay, well, it's not drawing the end state. Game state is considered active. Step into here. Is there a checked king? There is. Is there a movement? Who can move? Who is that? The light pawn. What do you mean? I need to filter by whose turn it is. I don't know why I didn't do that. Get pieces. This board turn. Okay. Okay. Hopefully that helps. All right, there, here, 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 here. White wins. Okay, is there an error? No. So doing, can I get away with the chess controller? Can I get away with this? Do I need to do this line? I do. All right. All right, let's go through all the files and make sure they're nice and clean. So look at the types. Let's see. Are there any interfaces anywhere but this file? Are there any types anywhere but this file? Do this. Okay. All right, so that's that. That's a good check. All right, let's look at chess. This might be one of the easier files to look at. Load image. Move illegal moves. We do this. Remove out of bounds, remove self captures. If we're looking at attacks only, we don't care about self checks. Because an attack, a self check is not an attack. That's why. That explains why. So we look at the future. Execute the movement of the future on this cloned piece. See if you put yourself in check. If we did, then we would go false. Okay, cool. Creates a proxy function call. This controller. Okay, cool. Pawn, very complicated. Very, very complicated. We only move forward for non-attacks. And if it's an attack, we always attack. Okay. Very complicated. Wish it didn't have to be. Probably could avoid it, but it's fine. The rook They have the ability to break castling, queenside and kingside. If the rook is either the first or the last side, that's what the modulus is what's going to help make this code simpler. And it breaks it for the side whose turn it currently is. So horizontal, diagonal, long movement in general. Turn off our blockers. Get all the knight moves. There's 8 of them. And then we filtered them out later. The bishop is just diagonal, the king. This is all a castling logic. Can't castle for an attack. Otherwise, I could just move 1. The queen could move 7. And there's filter null. Okay, so look at the chess controller. I think some aspects of this are going to have to change. So we do captures, then we do movements. Then there's this. Oh, that's interesting. That's an edge case. Alright, I found another edge case just by scrolling through the code. So good thing we did it. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, it's an edge case. So here it is. Basically, we did this. No. If we did this, 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 this. Oh my gosh. I did it wrong. Let's just do it with this piece. So you can still castle. I'll probably switch to the horse. The knight. Yep. So we gotta check to make sure that the rook is still there. The same colored rook too. Gotta check to make sure. I think all that matters is that the same colored piece is there. Because so let's just document that bug. Remove disable castle castling capture. All right. Huge refactor. All right. Push. Yes. Okay. So next, disable castling after rook capture. We would have to go to the key. We have to go to the controller. And then not the controller, sorry. We have to go to chess. Go to the king. And we have to do one more. CID rook -4 and rook dot equals. Yeah, I think only the color matters. Rook dot color equals piece dot color. This dot color. The reason that only the color matters is because if the rook moves, it would trigger the break, and so we wouldn't be able to castle then. But if you're captured, or if there's no piece there at all, then the color will not match. But I mean, think about it. No. And rook dot type equals, because if it's captured, you move, you put a different black piece there. Yeah, we need both. Color's the same, the type is correct. The only other thing that we're not counting for is you could actually move the other rook from one side of the board to the other side of the board and try to initiate the castle. So this helps, but it still doesn't fix it. So the scenario, it's really complicated to set up, but the scenario is this, 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 and then go to queen. And so move this out of the way, move this here. Sorry. Move this out of the way, move this here. So he can't castle now, but if I maneuvered this rook down here, now he can't. Why not? Oh, okay, because it's an attack. Okay, my bad. Let's do this. Retreat her now? Yeah, okay, so now we can castle because we maneuvered it. So So now I'm curious if chess.com solved that problem. Oh, we gotta find out now. Alright, click here. This very, excuse me, this very difficult to set up. Can you just let me open a sidebar without, okay, thank you. Analysis. Okay. Okay, so it doesn't need to be that complicated. All that we really need to do is oh my gosh, I didn't even do the thing. Nice. So I basically have to capture. I have no choice. Fine. I can't move my king. If I move my king, I break the... So I had to have landed here. Okay. Okay, so I guess that's why I didn't do it the night before. So I'm gonna take this pawn down, this pawn up, this pawn over, this pawn up, down, this guy forward, this one down, Let's just make sure. What's the most helpful here? This. Alright, so I should be able to. Oh, I can't castle. Because it's attacked. Alright, it's fine. Everything's fine. Capture. So I'm gonna put that there. Okay. So the idea is I go here. I go here. I go here. Okay, so they handled it. Perfect. Imagine I find a bug in chess.com. That'd be crazy. Okay, so the question becomes, how do I fix this? If either the king or the rook has moved recently, so maybe keep track of that somehow. Yeah, so I keep track of the issue is in this case the neither piece did move. Instead it was captured. And so keeping track of that capture is going to be the important part to either we need to keep track of like which rook was originally there, or we need to keep track of whether the rook was captured or not. I don't know what's easier. We already have a variable that tells us whether the castling has been broken on either side. So I think it's best to just reuse that to figure out how to use that variable. Have I made any changes? What are the changes I made? Okay. Yeah, so I've dealt with 90% of the bug. There's just like one other aspect to where we need to see if the rook was captured. Is there? Let's see. Let's see. Let's get creative. Let's see if we can be creative. Let's go to the chess controller. Go to execute move. This piece is the piece that is moving. But what about the piece that's being captured? If I look at the piece that's being captured and see if it's a rook on the queen side, then I can kill the castle ability. Because what I actually ended up doing was I moved the rook that's here is actually from over here. I actually moved it so that it was here. But I only have it to where moving them breaks the castling rule. But I never moved the original rook that was here. So I never broke the castling rule. Instead it was captured. So now I need to figure out a way to see who was captured. So these are extra captures. And that helps me handle en passant. I'm going to add a new function because there's two places that I capture. So I'm going to add a new function here called, not here, in the controller, called handle capture piece. All right, and then, excuse me. So for all of these, I will say handle capture, and make it so that handle capture can be null or undefined. And then the other place that we capture is when we move our piece somewhere, which is here. And so we say handle capture. Can you not associate castle with individual rooks? Each rook would be property for whether it's moved or not. What if we associate with the rooks with they're removed or not? Ah, I see what you're saying. That's interesting. That would work too. That would work too. And it would likely be easier. Because I can just track all the pieces that have moved. I mean, I probably could have used that too for like the pawns. Like the pawns I just check is on the starting file. If it's on the starting file, I can move twice. But it probably would have been better, since this is a recurring theme, it probably would have been better just to see if it moved or not. And just simplify the logic. Yeah. Okay, yeah, fine. That's a good idea. Because we can reuse logic. All right. What we'll do is each piece we'll store how many moves it has made. Number. Yes, this is a great idea. Thank you. Piece moves. Yeah. I'll have to think about the en passant. I know the code for en passant and all of that is really complicated already. So maybe we could simplify it. And so what we want to do is in the controller, we don't need to do this anymore. As a matter of fact, we can get rid of these as well. We have this special rule for rooks and a special rule for king. So we don't need that anymore. So it helps simplify things a little bit. And we'll make it so that this is execute move. So we'll do piece.moves plus plus. Yeah. And then we can do one more thing in here. Not here, here. So we'll go to the pawn, and the pawn, for the forward 2, we can say they are on the starting if the moves, if they've not made a move, right? Excellent. And then for the king, we also want to see and rook dot moves. They've not moved. Yeah. That is a great idea. Thank you. Let's see if it worked. Oops. I did not mean to do that. Okay, so that should increase the count. Let's start moving him forward. And then forward. So you should be able to castle right now. But let's move our knight. We go here. We can't castle because this is under attack. Every space you pass over has to be safe. So I'll move here, capture this, become a knight. Don't need to become a queen. Why would I do that? Move the knight out of the way, put this here. And I can't move at all because it's under attack. Oh, also because it's black's turn. Okay, that works. That is a very elegant solution. We can get rid of these. The piece is selected. The color is turned. The last pawn that moved. The tiles. All right. And then the pawn stopped being able to move too, right? Okay. Okay. Let's make sure en passant still works. Is there any others I can do en passant? So he can. I can't move forward because it's a check. Damn. Okay, that's fine. Everything's fine. I need to move him. And then I need him to move forward twice, and I can capture it. Perfect, perfect. Okay, thank you, Zuha. Let's go down here. And we've resolved this. What's that? Nothing. Oh, nice. We can get rid of these. Less functions are better. Get rid of these. Less data is better. Let's go to the view. Make sure we didn't miss any issues. Don't like how red that is. It always makes me think there's an error. What's the issue here? So we can basically just get rid of this. I'm just gonna put a comment. Queen side castling. Make sure that nobody's there. The rook, it's the same color. I feel like all we need to look at is the number of moves the piece made. Because the only way that any other piece could be there is if they made a move. So we can actually simplify this. Oh, okay, never mind. We can't simplify it. Unless we did, okay, fine. It's got to be strictly equal to 0. Because if there's no rook there, then they also would have not. If there's nothing there, they also would not have made a move. I go into here, delete this. I'm gonna do queen side, king side castle. I'm gonna call it K bishop and K knight and K rook. And then I'm gonna call this IQ. There's only one queen, so Q bishop, Q knight, Q rook. Queen is queen, Q bishop is bishop, Q knight is knight, rook is rook. All right. Excellent. All right. Fix castling bugs and make first moves better. Oh, there's one more thing. There's one more bug. It's in chess. I also need to make sure the king hasn't moved. This piece, this moves equals 0. Alright, and then we'll do this. Alright, I'll do the 0 thing because it's nicer to look at. I'm not trying to aim for brevity, I'm trying to aim for readability. I also need to see if the king, this dot moves equals 0 and cool. That's another bug. Make sure the king breaks castling as well. Okay. Okay, let's make sure I didn't break anything while doing that, so I'm just gonna do a quick mate here. I know there's definitely a quicker way, but white wins. Excellent. All right. I think it's at a point where I can start to consider alternative. Let me do one more thing. Do this. Let me mate. Oh. Everything's so jacked now that I don't. so confused. Okay. Ugh. Black wins. So it's black fill, white outline. Okay, that should be white fill, black outline. I think that would be cooler. So go to view, go to draw end game, and is it cooler? Because then the stalemate's gonna be one color. What color would stalemate be? I feel like it'd be unfair to fill it. Alright, well, I'm not doing that. Thought it'd be cool, but it's not. Because I can't figure out a consistent solution unless like half stalemate is white and half stalemate is black. But I don't want to figure out how to position it. It's too difficult. Alright. So we have some alternative games we could do. Let's take a look at our index. I don't know if anyone's still here, but pretty much done classic vanilla chess. We have en passant, we have castling, we have pawn promotion, we have check, checkmate, and stalemate. I'm pretty sure we also have the ability to pin pieces. So I don't know if anyone out there wants to see something specific, but I'm happy to do any of the games on screen here, or any games, any other variations that aren't here that you might find interesting. We'll go here, here, here. So I can't move this pawn now because it's pinned. So pinning does work. I can't put myself in check, so that also works. Nice. All right. We see whose turn it is. Yeah, I don't know what else this variation needs. I think to me, I'm gonna sort it in terms of difficulty. Horde is easy. What's King of the Hill? I think King of the Hill, you win if you get the king to the middle of the board, but you can still mate. You can still checkmate. So if it's something about like 3 check is the easiest. It's gotta be the easiest. Atomic is like, these ones are just a matter of change the board, right? This one's just a matter of change the win condition. This one is change captures. say King of the Hill, we changed the win condition. Anti-chess is super complicated. Racing Kings. Crazy House is super complicated. These are very non-traditional rules. Double movement, triple movement. I would have to change how movement works. So let me take a look at OBS. Okay. So I'll do 3-check first. I think 3-check is super easy. Is it easy though? Because I think that we should track how many checks there have been. Which means we need to make the board bigger. Let me just look up how to play King of the Hill. And the goal is to move your king to one of the 4 central on the board, same as regular chess with the addition of the central squares rule. Okay, King of the Hill, I would say, is easy. So let me just update my channel. Two. King of the Hill. All right. So let's do it. King of the Hill. And then we'll do a new page. King of the Hill .astro. We're gonna just steal this code. That's not how you spell Astro. And we'll also change this to King of the Hill. And we will do the following. We will create a new file. Let's first navigate to it. So go here, go to King of the Hill. Of course we get an error because we don't have the variant yet. And I don't have focus either. King of the Hill.ts. Take vanilla TS, go back to here. All right, so what I would want to do is, it's the same rules as chess, except you win if your king is in the middle. So we would want to add a way to tell the controller that there's a win. So we'll do private get game state. We already have a function called that. Get, we'll call it get winner. And can return a game state. I'm sorry, that's not how you write code. It's gonna have this context of board, chess controller. Does it need to? That's fine. It won't. Let's see if it needs to. Make it optional and make it a configuration. We'll call this chess controller config. Private chess private config. Go to types. Export interface, and it's going to have get winner, and it's not going to have an implementation because it's an interface. I'm going to return game state. And so what we can do is make it optional, import it, and when we get game state, const, we'll return this.config. Winner. Just call it get game state because we can now. Because we should be able to do a stalemate in theory. So King of the Hill, get game state. So we're gonna get the 4 middles. Okay, so I'll just say pieces equals controller dot get piece by coordinate, and it's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It'd be 3, 3, 3, 4, 4, 3, 4, 4. And then we'll do dot find piece. Let's do a filter. No. Do we need to? We don't need to. Piece dot type is king. Return active if king, return king dot color equals white, then white wins, dark wins. Doesn't have a return. Doesn't have a type. What do you mean? Does have a type. What are you talking about? Oh. Fine. We have to do that. And then we have to do to go here and say this is a chess controller. And then we need to go to the chess controller and call this function properly. Is it call or apply? Okay, call. Cool. So, of course, try to make the most winning move possible. White wins. Excellent. Wow. Super fast. Red King of the Hill. Cool. All right. Do one more. Yeah, try to do one more. Let's look at our page. All right, what's Racing Kings? We're gonna play the 3-check variant in the chess and see how they show the checks. It's better to move the bishop, I think. Ugh. Oh, it's such a bait. Oh, I lost. There's just like a +1, +2. That is an interesting idea. Some kind of a score zone. Just a little bit of extra space to show like the pieces, the extra pieces that have been captured throughout the game. The difference, if you will. Let's does Racing Kings care about check? I think you can't check in Racing Kings, right? In Racing Kings, checks are not allowed. This means player cannot move their king into check, nor can they check the opponent's king. Okay. That's a complicated variant. What's 960? Why am I... My position pieces on the back is randomized. The bishops must be on opposite colored squares. This creates 960. What? Okay. Okay, I'm glad that we did that castling roll change because for 960, that's pretty important. Okay, so how does castling work? Castling also is similar to castling in standard chess. Castling rules are modified to account for the starting positions. The king cannot be in check. The king cannot move through a check. There cannot be any pieces between the king and the rook. The king and the rook move to the same squares as in standard chess. Each player can only castle once per game. That's so weird. So I would have to change how we filter. In all honesty, Horde's probably the easiest. Horde is the easiest. Alright, so let's, I mean, we were in number 2 for like 5 seconds. Alright, Horde. We do the same thing. We're gonna go from vanilla though. New file, horde.ts. And we'll go to pages, do new file, horde.astro. Go to the vanilla, copy, horde, save it, cid, horde. Go to variants, we're already here. All right, and then we'll go to the actual game. Go to Horde. And then the main thing with Horde is more complicated. White has normal pieces. Black only has pawns. Four rows of pawns. So this is a new thing where when we make a new game, we say config.new game for that. And so we need to go to types, config, new game, this chess controller, game board state. And so in here, dot call this, yeah, okay. I think we should just return the tiles. Let's do that. And we'll export this. We'll export this, and then we'll do pawns dark. Export const pawns. Color is chess color. Chess color, sorry, just color. This would be pawns light. And the new game should return piece double array. Great. And so basically that's the only difference. We will need to do an additional rule change because pawns can't move 2 in their first movement anymore. Do you need to handle checkmate? I've already handled checkmate. I took it from the vanilla, everything the vanilla had, which vanilla did have checkmate. It also had check, stalemate, and all those other rules. So that is already handled. We just add this additional win condition. It's a good question though. Thank you. So Horde, let's find the Horde TS. Close others. New game. I'm gonna do back row dark. What's wrong? Game state. Oh, I gotta make them all optional. They're all optional. Optional. Black wins. Pawns dark. Empty. How many empty rows are there? Oh. Dang. This is one of those where white has no king. Why is this unhappy? Because this needs to be or no. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then this one is more complicated. It's gonna be no pawn light, pawn light, no pawn light, pawn light, no. Why are you not drawing, my friend? Why are you black? Why is that outline there? I don't remember doing that outline. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's no error. Did I break something somewhere else by chance? No. It was drawing before. I'm just gonna add a random light king. Oh. Just because every pawns wanted to upgrade because they're on the last file, the last rank. Okay. Alright, it seems that Horde is also complicated. So which pawns can move? The only difference with pawns on the first and second ranks can move 2 squares forward if they have room to do it. Furthermore, pawns that start on the first rank can move 2 squares up even on the second move. Alright, so I think one thing I should do is, in terms of vanilla, chess controller. Change this. Okay, so game state. This is a very special game state right here. And I'm gonna put it to the side. I'm gonna put it here. Detect no kings. Yeah. I'm losing because there's no white king. We will do something one day. Okay. And then the other thing is the pawns want to get promoted. So we don't want that. So in the chess controller, pawn, I think it's like get promotion, get promoted pawn. So I was trying to promote, because I didn't really care about where the pawn, what color the pawns were. And so the white pawns are trying to promote on their back row. So, I don't know, I thought I was being smart, but apparently I didn't think of this variation. Piece dot color equals white. Light. That's why there's an error. And piece dot color equals what? All right. So they're gonna be able to move 2. They're gonna be able to move 2. So just give me a moment.
You're muted.
Give me a second. All right, y'all. I think I'm gonna have to call it for today. There's a few more rules we have to implement with Horde, but it's still good progress. All right. Well, thanks for joining and thanks for your ideas, Azuha. Anyone else joining? Thank you. And I'll be on again around the same time tomorrow. All right. Well, bye for now.